How is the progression of battery life improved on Samsung's S series Ultra flagship line from the S22 Ultra to the S23 Ultra to the latest S24 Ultra? Now let's find out in our extreme battery drain test on mobile data. Let's get into it. Now for the battery and performance specifications, starting with the Galaxy S24 Ultra. It is packing a 5000 mAh battery and it is powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 4 Galaxy chipset. And for the Galaxy S23 Ultra, it is packing a 5000 mAh battery and it is powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 4 Galaxy chipset. And for the Galaxy S22 Ultra, as ours is the European model, it is packing a 5000 mAh battery and it is powered by the S2200. Now for the parameters of how all these three devices are set up for this extreme battery drain test, they are pretty much all the same. The resolution has been set to the highest at QHD+, adaptive 120Hz has been enabled, the adaptive brightness has been disabled, so manual brightness is locked in and dialed in later. And also when it comes to things like the power saving mode, all the toggles have been disabled. That will actually slow down any battery performance as we go through. And of course, when it comes to the performance profile for the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra and S23 Ultra, it is being put into the standard mode, whereas the S22 Ultra has the option for optimize, so we have left it there. Now for the latest software update, the S24 Ultra at the time of this recording did actually get the latest May update, whereas the S23 Ultra is still on April, and also the S22 Ultra has been updated to the latest One UI 6.1 with the April update, so they're as update as possible at the time of this recording. And of course for the display brightness, I have tried to manually calibrate this to 200 nits as close as possible on all of them to make it consistent, and also disabled any special features such as video brightness as normal across the board, so even when you're watching videos, the brightness stays consistent. One thing you as my audience have praised me for, which I really appreciate the support and recognition, is my setup, visual look and presentation of my battery drain test videos, and this is possible and elevated by FlexiSpot thanks to their E7 Pro motorized standing desk. I'm using the E7 Pro in the 120 by 60 centimeter configuration with the all-white desktop for a clean look, and it supports a weight capacity of 160 kilograms, individual drive motors in each leg for stability, with a semi-C leg structure with space and stability in mind. Installation is straightforward with the inclusion of a magnetic concealed cable management accessories, advanced keypad for setting your own height presets, and a USB charging port with different desktops to choose from, varying materials, depths and widths. Having the ability to work and set up at varying heights is such a health benefit to saving my back and aiding the perfect setup for work, and of course in this situation, my battery drain test videos. Check the links in the description below and get your FlexiSpot E7 Pro. And with that out of the way, let's get into this extreme battery drain test. Let's start things off with this extreme battery drain test between the Galaxy S24 Ultra, the Galaxy S23 Ultra, and the legacy Galaxy S22 Ultra. Coming from when things used to be all Exynos based on the S22 Ultra in certain regions to the all Snapdragon era with the Galaxy S23 Ultra and the S24 Ultra, and we're going to be putting it for our popular applications that we actually test, such as TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Music, and more on mobile data. And pretty much we are going to be the only ones that do this, so if you appreciate this level of effort and setup, then be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos like this on the Lover of Tech channel, because these videos take a lot of effort, and of course we're pretty much going to be the ones that are listening to you, our audience, and making it happen. Let's put the magnification over the battery status so we can see it in real time. And as you know, with our battery drain test, we shoot it as one continuous shot, and we're only speeding up the parts that matter the most, so you're not actually sitting here for the whole period of time that I was, so it's an easier watch. I'm going to try and make it entertaining and go through. Now, first interval is of course TikTok, and I always say this, TikTok is like the wicked Wild West. Crazy stuff happens there when it comes to content being posted, and the state of affairs at the moment on TikTok, we don't know if it's going to be there in certain regions like in North America. But yeah, if you want to see more vertical form content from us here at Lover of Tech, then be sure to follow us there at Lover of Tech BA over on TikTok. And we're pretty much going to be going through this first interval to see how the battery drainage is across these devices as we go. And at the first interval, after 1 hour of TikTok videos, as we are going through, we do have 87% battery and 39.3 degrees Celsius minus 13% battery loss in the S24 Ultra. 85% battery on the Galaxy S24 Ultra, 40.8 degrees Celsius minus 15% battery loss, and then 82% battery, 41.9 degrees Celsius minus 18% battery loss on the S22 Ultra. Again, the Galaxy S23 Ultra and S22 Ultra are older devices. These are not fresh ones that I've purchased out of the box. These are my legacy devices, review units that I've had from day one. And of course, I've used each phone for a year before switching over to the newer model. So, I mean, they've kind of been sitting there. They've been updated to their latest versions as available. So, hey, take these results for what I can. These are the best that I've got to do, and I'm making it work. Next is Instagram. And of course, Instagram is pretty much one of my favorite platforms right now for behind the scenes and just keeping up with people, especially with the amount of memes and reels that I'm posting to people. Boy, this is how I keep up with people, and I'm having different conversations there compared to me calling them or directly messaging them. So if you want to see more behind the scenes of what we're getting up to at Lover of Tech, be sure to follow us on Instagram at loveroftech_BA for more behind the scenes. Now, when we get to this interval with 75% battery, 37.7 degrees Celsius minus 12% battery loss on S24 Ultra, 69% battery, 40.4 degrees Celsius minus 16% battery loss, and then 59% battery, 44.2 degrees Celsius minus 23% battery loss on the S22 Ultra. Ouch! The curse of excellence is there, and I'm gonna probably see a bit of battery health degradation over the years, maybe. So I've got to give it a bit of leeway, but still, accounting for it though, that's still a big hit to the excellence model on the S22 Ultra. Right, next part is one of the most intensive part, which is Instagram live streaming for the hour. Again, we're gonna go at the midpoint, 2 hours and 30 minutes, because we don't see it full screen, where we see the battery percentage, and it's 64% battery, 43.7 degrees Celsius minus 11% battery loss on the S24 Ultra, 59% battery, 42.8 degrees Celsius minus 10% battery loss, and then 46% battery, 46.5 degrees Celsius minus 13% battery loss at the midway point for the S22 Ultra. Again, this is more just because of the fact that we can't see the battery percentage all the way through. So we do a midpoint reading, and then we get to the full hour to see how things have progressed all the way through. And we'll do a reading of a midway point and a total come the full hour of 1 hour when it comes to doing the Instagram live streaming. This part is quite intense on these phones, and boy, you really start to see it that it takes a hit across the board when it comes to battery percentage. Now, moving over to the next interval point, which is going to be the 1 hour mark, 3 hours into the live streaming for Instagram Live. And for this battery drain test, where will we be when it comes to the battery percentage? And for the Galaxy S24 Ultra, it's at 54% battery, 45.2 degrees Celsius, minus 10% battery loss compared to the midway point, but a total of minus 21% battery loss. Now, for the S24 Ultra, it's 50% battery, 44.1 degrees Celsius, minus 9% battery loss after the midway point, and then it's minus 19% battery loss total, which is great actually. And then 31% battery, 48.8 degrees Celsius, minus 15% battery loss on the midway, and a total of minus 28% battery loss on the S22 Ultra. It's a big ouch. And at this point, I can pretty much smell it. It's going to be a very short day in the office for the Galaxy S22 Ultra. Lord knows how it would have performed if it was actually a brand new one at maximum battery health. You can't really see the battery health on these Galaxy devices, but yeah, next interval is going to be YouTube, where we are streaming at 4K 60. This is our ultimate camera comparison video. And this is between the iPhone 15 Pro Max, S24 Ultra, and the Pixel 8 Pro when it first came out for the S24 Ultra at the beginning of January 2024. And at the midway point is 46% battery, 40.9 degrees Celsius, minus 8% battery loss on the Galaxy S24 Ultra, 40% battery, 42.4 degrees Celsius, minus 10% battery loss on the S23 Ultra. And then you've got 16% battery, 48.3 degrees Celsius, minus 15% battery loss at the halfway point. Right now, that's a big hit, and I don't really see this even making it to the 4 hour mark for the S22 Ultra. And again, we're gonna have to account for things like the battery health really reducing since the phone first came out back in 2022, usage, and also the fact that it's pretty much been sitting there. Although it's been updated to One UI 6.1 on the latest April update at this time over the air from what I was testing. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one, I'm not gonna lie. It's a tough one for the Galaxy S22 Ultra. And where will we be when it comes to where it's going to be finishing and going through? And as we're going through the YouTube test, we can see that it's gonna say goodbye at the 3-hour mark, 55 minutes and 36 seconds, with a final temperature reading of 43.9 degrees Celsius in third place. Now, I was expecting this to be the case. Of course, you should be seeing battery life improvement generation on generation, but Lord, under 4 hours, I mean, if it accounted for any extra for full battery health, maybe it might have made it to 4.5 hours, but in this case, nah. At the 4-hour mark, 40% battery, 37.3 degrees Celsius, minus 6% battery loss. At the midway point, a total loss of minus 14 on the S24 Ultra, nice. And then 32% battery, 39.7 degrees Celsius, minus 8% battery loss on the midway point, a total loss of minus 18 on the S23 Ultra. Interesting. Now, next is YouTube music, and usually I am playing my favorite album, one of my favorite rap albums of all time, Kanye West's College Dropout. But you know what? I did have to sneak in Jay-Z at the beginning with I Know, produced by the Neptunes, of course, on that American Gangster album. If you saw it swiftly there, I'm telling you, man, that track is aged like fine wine. I've been playing it a lot. I've really been digging into my Neptunes lately, but of course, I still got to keep consistent to Kanye's College Dropout, man. And it's just one of them things that it's an album that helps me get through these battery drain tests. It's timeless to me. Love listening to it, never get tired of it. At that interval is 26% battery, 39.3 degrees Celsius, minus 14% battery loss. And then it's 16% battery, 40.0 degrees Celsius, minus 16% battery loss on the S23 Ultra. So again, this is a 10% gap now, more efficient on the S24 Ultra compared to the S23 Ultra, but the S24 Ultra is holding its own. Next is X Spaces, or formerly known as Twitter Spaces, where we are pretty much running them through together to see how long they last. And I thought at this point, you know what, yeah, the S23 Ultra, including a bit of battery health loss over the year of usage as my main device before switching to the S24 Ultra, I think it's done well. Last 5% pretty much kicks in at this time, and you see it at the 5-hour mark. At 5 hours and 46 minutes and 54 seconds, it says goodbye in second place with a final temperature reading of 41.5 degrees Celsius. I think it's done respectably well. It didn't make it to the 6-hour mark, but honestly, I feel like if it was a fresh S23 Ultra out of the box, it would have probably hanged and went all the way to the 6-hour mark and maybe a bit beyond to start recording at the 4K 60 with the camera. Now, at the 6-hour interval, the S24 Ultra is pretty much going to be at 12% battery, temperature reading of 39.6 degrees Celsius and minus 14% battery loss. Now, that is actually a very interesting reading. Now, to the finishing line, what we have here for the Galaxy S24 Ultra on the latest May software update for 2024 at the time of this recording. Finishing time of 6 hours, 16 minutes and 33 seconds. A final temperature reading of 49.1 degrees Celsius. In first place is the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. So in third place is the Galaxy S22 Ultra with a finishing time of 3 hours, 55 minutes and 36 seconds. Boy, that's a huge hit. I'm just going to put it out there. If this was a fresh, brand new Galaxy S22 Ultra on the latest software update, maybe tops give an extra 30 minutes to 45 minutes. It's still going to be under 5 hours. Is that really acceptable? Boy, I think that's a tough crowd. And it's just a gentle reminder, I don't think we really want to be seeing Exynos on these flagship Ultra phones anymore, and Lord knows we were all happy when the transition happened over. But in the meantime, in this extreme battery drain test, lover of textile, the Galaxy S22 Ultra is in third place with a finishing time of 3 hours, 55 minutes and 36 seconds. And in second place is the Galaxy S23 Ultra with a finishing time of 5 hours, 46 minutes and 54 seconds. I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I feel like if this was a brand new Galaxy S23 Ultra, it'll be trading pound for pound, blow for blow with the Galaxy S24 Ultra. It just tells you that switch over to Snapdragon only on the S23 Ultra was colossal. We all noticed the battery life difference, so Lord knows, I think if you've got a Galaxy S23 Ultra, you're still good when it comes to battery life. All I'm saying is right now in this particular test, it did well. Second place with a finishing time of 5 hours, 46 minutes and 54 seconds. And in first place, of course, as we should have expected it, the Galaxy S24 Ultra with a finishing time of 6 hours, 60 minutes, and 33 seconds. Right on par. I've done so many battery drain tests with the Galaxy S24 Ultra right now that I pretty much know where it's going to be landing, and it did not disappoint. It pretty much landed where I was expecting it to, so it's behaving as it should. I think the previous update kind of clawed it back a little bit, so they've brought it back where it needs to be. But yeah, it's in first place, so you can see the difference between the generation. In this particular one, the Galaxy S24 Ultra is finishing at 6 hours, 16 minutes, and 33 seconds. Now, were you surprised by the generational leap and differences with the battery performance between the S22 Ultra, S23 Ultra, and also the S24 Ultra? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. That's it for me, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this, you know exactly what to do. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. I hope you're all safe during this time. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.